Speaking of mighty and fallen, I need to fire up with the tipping department.
Yes, you do.
Easter's about where I come good because this is exactly where I thought I'd be with the tipping, just to make them think you're weak when you're strong. All right, let's start with the Saturday clash between the Crows and the Dockers at Adelaide Oval. I've got the Crows on top. How does it sound for you guys?
Yeah, I'm going with the Crows as well. They've been in a position to win all three games. It's been inaccuracy in front of goal, not taking their opportunities, and they're a little inconsistent in one of the games where they played one big quarter and a couple of ordinary quarters. But the funny thing about the Dockers, Al, is they win a heap of the ball. The ball ain't going anywhere. So they're not moving it, they're not doing anything with it, and that's really killing their ability to hit the scoreboard.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be a fascinating watch this weekend because Adelaide, as you say, have looked really exciting at times, but they've conceded 300 points in their three games, so clearly they need to tighten that up. But then the Dockers haven't been able to score, so who's going to come out on top in that battle? But yeah, I think the Crows at home.
All right, Ross the boss. Well, the Saints, will they go 4-0 against the Suns at Marvel on Saturday night? Are you tipping, Ross, to just keep it rolling for the Saints here and remain on top of the ladder?
Well, I'm tipping St Kilda. I'm not thinking they're going to go all the way through to September and still be one of the teams that we're talking about. And the Suns were so good last week, weren't they? But that was back up at home at, what's it called now? Heritage Bank Stadium, I think it's called, knocking the cats off. Can they come down here and do it at Marvel? I don't know. I think Ross has got a good, confident group playing at the moment and just banking some wins, and the draws help them as well.
Have you got any gold around the stats now? Because everyone's talking finals footy for St Kilda, albeit we're up to round 4. Al, have you got any?
Yeah, I can give you something for Saints fans. They won their first 3 games. They've only done it 5 times in the last 60 years or so, but every single time they've made the grand final or the prelim.
Wow, hear that?
Including their one premiership.
They're going to buck the trend this year. They
they
won't
really?
make the prelim or the grand final. That's my call.
In 66?
Yeah, they did it in 66.
Bang, Barry Breen. All right, the Demons are the short price favourite of the weekend. They'd have to go to the wrong ground to lose to the Eagles in Perth, wouldn't you think, Chief?
Well, it's almost a second string Eagles team. They just got decimated last week, and Melbourne put that little aberration up at the Gabba away. They were terrific again last week. They look like they're the team we think they're going to be in 2023. So it's very hard to make a case for the Eagles. It's hard to make a case, actually, Al, for a competitive game.
Yeah, I mean, I actually think the Eagles went okay last week.
They tried really hard.
But the injuries just made it almost impossible. And one player I'll be watching closely this week is Brodie Grundy. We saw with Max Gawn out back in the ruck, he really dominated against the Swans last week, and he comes up against an Eagles team that is playing second and third stringers in the ruck. So I think he'll run around and get an absolute stack of it.
Are you expecting West Coast to respond after the Derby? At all? Like, we saw some improvement.
How can you respond with no manpower?
No, but in terms of game plan, like, you can go away and then be defensive because you don't have personnel, but are you expecting Simo to stick to what he knows in terms of what the tweaks he's made?
I don't think he's got too many options in terms of what he can do. He was proud of their performance last week. The effort was brilliant from some of the players, but you know, Oliver and Petrarca in particular might just go crazy this weekend.
Yeah, and the other one who's coming in for the D's is Keziah Pickett, who obviously missed a couple of weeks with suspension. Maybe with 2 weeks, he might be, consider himself a little bit lucky to get back this week, but good week to come in. He was so good in round 1, playing through the midfield and up forward. He's kicked at least 1 goal in his last 13 games, so you'd pencil him in for at least 1 or 2 this week.
Licking his chops.
All right, there you have it. Our round 4 tips. We're all in agreement, except the Chief is going with the Bulldogs against the Tigers. Thanks very much, Jason.
A pleasure.
Al, it's been outstanding work from you guys. Thanks for joining us on Fox Sports Lab AFL. Make sure you subscribe below and follow us on socials, and we'll see you next week.
Footy is life. It's loyalty, rivalry, love and pain. Footy is everything. That's why we've made a betting brand for footy fans. That's better. Chances are you're about to lose.